there, it's Mike from the Beaten Trail, and today we are here at Famous Redding Outdoors, September 2024, and our renewal is coming up for our yearly membership. So what we want to answer today for you is, will we be renewing our Famous Redding Outdoors membership? So stay tuned, we're going to answer that and a few more questions in this episode.
The Beaten Trail is sponsored by Ride Royal Blue ATV Resort in Pioneer, Tennessee, where all of your Tennessee adventures begin. Lodging for any budget, bring your RV, or stay in a cabin. Trails are attached to the resort and not a far drive on ATV legal pavement, so stop down at Ride Royal Blue in Tennessee. And the Potter County ATV UTV Club. And Pine Grove Yamaha, sales and service for Yamaha and so much more. Thank you AOAA for sponsoring the Beaten Trail.
You know why you're here? You want to know, are we going to renew our Famous Redding Outdoors membership? So we started here 3 years ago. We did start in some of the smaller places, Lost Trails, Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area, and here. They're not all the same size, and they certainly are not all the same type of trails. There are some differences between the three, and if you watch our channel, you'll see all the other locations we've gone to in Pennsylvania. But I wanted to at least answer the question, will we be renewing our membership? So to answer that question, we're going to go back in time. When we first started riding here, there were no trail signs, there was no security. But if you can hear behind me, you will hear some construction equipment, and that's no big deal, right? We started seeing closures and changes to Famous Redding Outdoors in 2022 and 2023. You all have your favorite trail system that you started in. For us, we started in Ashland. Ashland North, Ashland South. We went riding, we did some videos on it. It was just exploring the great unknown. I was lucky enough to be riding with Mark Potter and Nate Potter and Ryan and Paul, and just everybody took me under their wing and we went riding in a little Rzr trail. To me, dark water was everything. But little did I know, yeah, there was St. Kieran's and there was the 901, but there were no signs, there was no boundaries. We, over the years, have explored most of what there is to see at Famous Redding Outdoors. And I don't know, we pay $225 now. We are an out-of-state member. Put it down here below. If you are a local, you get a different price. So if you're in the county or in this area in Pennsylvania, you will get a discount. But for us, right now, we pay $225 plus another amount for a passenger. I'll put that all down below. Regardless of what it is, the neighboring riding areas, they offer the same thing. Famous Redding has the similar price to Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area and Lost Trails. Yes, they're all different sizes and they're all different quality, and some people poo-poo the smaller locations, but it might be closer to somebody. You know, Lost Trails is 90 minutes from our house in New Jersey. Here, 2 hours, $220, AOAA, 2 hours, $30. But if you live here, it's extremely convenient. They have not really overly improved the facilities here, and they've reduced the land and the trails that you can ride on. Again, there will be some people that will not really fully appreciate the changes that have happened over the 3 years here, and many people don't care. They have not been affected. If you do single track, there's more single track, but they're also removing the hills. So before everybody goes putting their hands up, Darkwater here has put up some new hills. So behind me, you'll find the Twin Pines Hill, and some are extremely steep. They are rocky hills. They're not coal and culm leftover hills, such as Mile Hill, the 500, the incline, and anything along those lines, Treverton Hills and the flats. And so what has changed, you're asking? Get to the point. The Treverton and flats locations have been shut down. They're now being reclaimed for mining and lumber, and we had a before video and an after video, and then we did a video while we went there and all the trees were being knocked down. Regardless, the advertisement of 20,000 acres and 650 miles is not fully accurate anymore. I'm guessing it's more like 16,000, and then I'm also going to guess it's more like 600 miles. For those who've seen our Mile Hill climbing videos, our friend Andy in his dune buggy go up in paddle tires. We had some of our friends from Florida and Ohio go up on their ATVs. Just a great sight to see everybody going up that hill. Mile Hill is gone. Mile Hill has been reclaimed to the regeneration plants. That's pretty much what they do. I mean, this is just rock here, but back in the day, it was not worth it to get anything less than, I don't know, 30% coal or 50% coal, whatever it may be. Someone can put it in the comments. But now it's worth it. Now it's valuable money. Primarily, Famous Redding is an energy company. $250 million. I don't know what they make in a year, but if you take what the energy makes, 250 million or 2.5 billion, I don't know. The 250,000 that they used to collect from memberships for riding, for enthusiasts such as us, that pays the taxes for the land, and that's it. There's always will be a conflict. They're not going to give up their energy company responsibilities and duties, and you can see that because here it's not so evident. Up on the hills, a lumber company got a signature, and so they said, take all the wood you want. And so the trees started coming down, and this is at Darkwater, at Locust Gap, most of the flat, some of Trevorton, Ashland North, some on the other side of Burma. You'll run into a little bit of it here and there. Some of your favorite trails may not look that way anymore. This is an ongoing, evolving place to ride. As long as it's not scorched earth, as you look behind us, there's still some great meadows and trails, and is a kind of iconic area where we've shot a couple videos. And in the fall, the colors are great. There's nowhere else in the state that you can go to get this kind of land. Let's say it's only 16,000 acres now, and let's say it's only 500 miles of trails. $225 a year? Is it still worth it to some people? Yeah, it is. For years, they've been speaking about camping, and they've been speaking about other facilities.
Occasionally, Rojo's food truck will be here, as well as others for events.
And you can do storage. You can have storage of your unit, or you can bring your toy hauler and your camper and leave it here. It's too far for us, and the cost didn't make sense because there were gate times. And sometimes we take a ride down to Hatfield, McCoy, or Tennessee, and we're on the road at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. We got to get our ride ready and loaded up and go. We're not going to have the ability to wait till 6 or 7 o'clock and unload it. So we have our unit stored elsewhere. But back to the story, I got to do the full disclosure thing. Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area has graciously provided the Beaten Trail a yearly press pass membership. So we don't pay when we go to AOAA. But we've been paying for AOAA long before we did receive that. When we spoke with Brian years ago before his passing, we wanted to help promote here. Part of that would have been, yeah, give us a pass. Maybe we'll help do the tours. There was all discussions about doing tours here, and maybe 3 years ago that was worth it, but we have expanded where we ride. We have sponsors down in Tennessee and all across the country, so we try to travel to new places. So we try to bring you this information so you can decide, is it worth it? At this point, we have seen most of Famous Redding Outdoors and all the locations. Tower City being one of the smaller and the newer ones. We've ridden all of Burma. We've found the boundaries in all different locations. We've driven throughout the location here in Darkwater and beyond, and as well as the Ashland area and Mount Carmel. And there's still a lot of great places for people to ride here. We've experienced it all, and we're moving on to something else. So the answer for us is we will not be renewing our Famous Redding Outdoors membership. We are doing our best to try to go to new trails, but this is just a great open area. And if we get snow this year, you're gonna love it. So I do have to say, it is right for many people to have a membership here. They have events. PA Mudfest was a great event. They do have camping at some of the events, but you won't have camping all the time here. And I know some people really think that's a big deal. If you want free camping, go to SSRT and pay $30 and have free primitive camping at the Gillentown Trailhead. From there, you can jump off into many different directions from that location, legally. So in closing, we will not be renewing our membership here. I'm hoping that new land areas open up. So you say, well, what new areas? Well, the rumor mill is as wide and vast as the trails are here at FRO. But I do want to say, there's always been discussions about the north and south regions of Famous Redding Outdoors being connected by the power lines. I have not heard anything permanent that would allow you to drive from, say, Darkwater all the way over to, say, Ashland and Mount Carmel. There's always a possibility, as well as camping. You can ride into town from Darkwater St. Kieran's 901 into Minersville. And we talk with Sean all the time, and it's a great way for people to get into town, get gas, get supplies, get food, get a pizza, whatever you want. We hope to see you around, but we will not be renewing here. And I know there's some people that will renew forever. I think that a price reduction probably makes sense if you're going to be closing 1,000 acres of your facility every year. I know it's temporary. I know when they're done mining, they'll open it again and reclamating. And once they're done carting the stuff off, they will wind up having the land open again. But thank you again. We appreciate you watching, and we will see you out there on the trail. Thanks.
Thank you to our sponsor, Ride Royal Blue, as well as the Potter County ATV UTV Club and Lit Industries for the brightest rock lights and accessories you can find. Visit Pine Grove Yamaha for sales and service of Yamaha and all other rides. Thank you, Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area, for supporting the Beaten Trail. We appreciate all our partners. Thank you very much for being along for the ride. Visit our stores for hats and shirts and so much more. We appreciate you watching, and we hope to see you out there on the trail. Thanks.
But we don't see ourselves riding 8, 9, 10 times a day. For riding, for enthusiasts such as us, all right, hopefully that looked decent. You didn't yell timber.
Oh, timber!